sacrifice helped propel an airman throughout their service. Before we begin today's ceremony, we would like to extend a special welcome to General Teff's guests. Please hold your applause until all are announced. His spouse, Miss Andrea Teff. His children, Colin, Kate, and Amelia Teff. His mother, Carolyn Teff. His brothers, Derek and Doug Teff. His sister and brother-in-law, Sarah Teff and Sean Gator. We're also honored to have with us today several distinguished guests from the Michigan National Guard and beyond. Please hold your applause. Paul T. Rogers, the Adjutant General of Michigan National Guard. Major General Retired Gregory J. Vadney, prior Adjutant General of Michigan National Guard. Major General Retired Thomas G. Cutler, prior Adjutant General of Michigan National Guard. Major General Retired Leonard W. Isabel, prior Assistant Adjutant General of Michigan Air National Guard. Brigadier General Ravindra D. V. Wag, Assistant Adjutant General of Michigan Army National Guard. Brigadier General Daniel J. Kramer II, Assistant Adjutant General of Michigan Air National Guard. Brigadier General James R. Perry, Assistant to Air Force Metcom Air National Guard. Brigadier General Matthew G. Brancato, Commander 127th Wing, Michigan Air National Guard. Colonel Carla M. Pfeiffer, Chief, National Guard Integration Office, NGB. Colonel Stephen K. Hay, Director of Staff, Michigan Air National Guard. Colonel James M. Ross, Commander 110th Wing, Michigan Air National Guard. Chief Master Sergeant Bruce Hendrick, Command Chief, 127th Wing, Michigan Air National Guard. And welcome to all commanders, chiefs, community partners, family members, friends, and guests in attendance today. The official party will arrive shortly, but before they do, I will review the customs and courtesies for today's ceremony. As a reminder, everyone should stand during the playing of the national anthem. Military personnel should stand at attention. All others should stand, move their hats, and place their right hand over their heart. At this time, we ask to ensure that all portable electronic devices, to include cell phones and mobile radios, are turned off or muted. Esteemed guests, please stand for the arrival of the official party. Remain standing for the presentation of the colors, the singing of the national anthem by Senior Airman Freeling, and the invocation by Chaplain Kramer. Honor Guard, present the colors.
Will you pray with me? Almighty God, it is an incredible honor to gather today and celebrate the career of General Bryan Teff. Thank you for each year that he served his nation with excellence. Thank you for the strength that you gave him each day to make a positive impact in so many lives. Gracious God, I pray now on the St. Aquinas Day that you would grant General Teff a steadfast heart, which no unworthy affection can drag downwards, an unconquered heart, which no tribulation can wear out, an upright heart, which no unworthy purpose may tempt aside, and bestow upon him the understanding to know you, diligence to seek you, and wisdom to find you in all that he does in the days and years ahead. May you place your blessing upon his marriage and family as they step together into this next phase of life. May you be honored in this ceremony, and may you grant safety, health, and peace to all that are here and abroad. In your holy name, I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Honor Guard and Chaplain Kramer. Esteemed guests, please be seated. Please welcome the presiding officer for today's ceremony, Major General Rolf E. Bryan. Good afternoon, everybody. It's truly an honor to be here to celebrate and recognize Major General Teff's 36 years of service to this great nation and great state. But I also want to make sure that sometime during the ceremony that we recognize the service and support and sacrifice of the Andrea Teff and the Teff family, for they have served as well. You know, they can say, there's a saying that you can say or learn a lot about a person by the company that they keep. And when I'm looking around this room, just seeing all these great airmen, great retirees, and so forth, it says a lot about General Teff and about his career. I do want to start off though and recognize a couple people outright. First, General Rogers, the Adjutant General. Thank you, sir, for being here. It's great to see you again. It's been a while, but I appreciate it. So I also want to recognize specifically the family. Andrea, it's great to see you again. Kids Colin, Kate, and Amelia. His mom, Carolyn. His brothers, Doug and Derek, sister Sarah, and brother Sean. So before I go on, I want to say a couple words to Colin real quick, because we have something, Bryan and I have something in common with each other. We're both wrestling dads. All right? My son Sean wrestled for 4 years through high school, and wrestling dads can be a little intense. So when wrestling happens, I will tell you a really quick fun story about how excited he gets about wrestling. It was at a regionals or a district championship, and my son Teff falls a kid, and I immediately text your dad and say, "Hey, my son just Teff fell behind." He goes, I got a text back. I know, I'm watching it on track wrestling right now. So even though you were out of wrestling when my son started, he was watching out for him as well. Finally, I do want to recognize some of the leaders of the past that are here, leaders that really set General Teff up for success. The soldiers and airmen here that I'm looking at, that when I was in senior leadership and General Teff's in senior leadership, we stood on your shoulders and appreciate everything that you did. So General Cutler, a longtime mentor of mine, appreciate you being here. General Vadnais, it's awesome to see you, and probably the one officer I know the longest in the National Guard, General Isabel, appreciate it. It's great to see you here as well. So now if we go back about 10 or 11 years, Bryan and I think we knew of each other, but we really didn't know each other until he came to the 127th Wing, and we were fellow group commanders. I was maintenance group commander, he was support group commander. I got along well with Bryan as we led our respective groups, and there were some very, very serious internal challenges in the 127th Wing, and as you remember, there was a lot of challenge there, but it was fun to work together out there. But it wasn't really until I became a wing commander, and Bryan became my boss as the commander of the Michigan Air National Guard, that I truly garnered an appreciation for his talents. So if I think about those 6 years of in senior leadership, looking through the lens of great power competition, and how volatile and complex the world is, or was, and still is today, I want to try to list a few qualities that senior leaders need to possess to be successful in that environment.
You know, the expectations that are pushed on us, not only by the Air Force, but by our boss, are pretty steep and pretty immense. So I just want to go through a couple of these here. First, we need inspirational leaders who can build teams and partnerships within the Michigan National Guard Department and across the day-to-day enterprise. We need unselfish leaders who don't care who gets the credit, as long as the job gets done. We need leaders with broad operational experience in understanding joint warfighting. We need leaders with vision who can meet the challenges currently today and then prepare us for the challenges that we face in the future. We need leaders who can craft a strategy for that great power competition within our sphere of control, and leaders who can lead through that change necessary. And finally, we need leaders of character who set the example for all of us in uniform. Someone who can be counted on to say and do the right thing. Now, full disclosure, I did not come up with that list of requirements for a leader. That's a compilation of many, many leaders out there that are a whole lot smarter than me. But what I do know is that 6+ years ago, General served as a T-38 instructor pilot. Separated from the Air Force, joined the Air National Guard, and flew operationally for the A-10s here in the Michigan Guard. All throughout that time frame, he has commanded organizations at every level. That includes the flight, the squadron, the base, the group, the wing, and finally at the state level. During an A-10 deployment, he earned the Distinguished Flying Cross, which is awarded for heroism and extraordinary achievement while participating in aerial flight. And this is out of the regulation. Both heroism and achievement must be entirely distinctive, involving operations that are not routine. Now, I could not get access to his actual DFC to read it. I have read another one that was given at the same time, but let's just say I only know 2 other members of the state of Michigan who have DFCs, one of them for combat operations and one of them for peacetime operations. If you look at the entire Air National Guard, there's only 21 members in the entire Air National Guard that currently have DFCs. 11 of them were just awarded the DFC in the last couple of months for their actions on April 13 when Iran attacked Israel with over 300 ballistic missiles and cruise missiles. So the DFC recipients in our Air National Guard are a very, very small fraternity. Moving on in his career, where he was the commander of the CRTC, under his leadership, and I know my history is correct in this, he was the one who actually initiated and started the Northern Strike exercise, which grew from an air-only CAS exercise to what it is today, the largest joint combined live-fire exercise in the reserve component. Throughout those earlier years in his career, Bryan established himself as a leader who would go a very, very long way. When he led at the 127th Wing in the Mission Support Group and at the 110th Wing as the Wing Commander, he further established himself as the preeminent leader and mentor and visionary in the Michigan Air National Guard, which ultimately elevated him to being the ATAG Air and the commander of the Air National Guard. During those years, when we really worked together closely, his passion for airmen and their development drove a complete top-down revamping of force development plans for airmen across the Michigan Air National Guard, which really set the tone for all aspiring leaders that we currently have. He personally mentored numerous leaders on moving them around the state in different jobs so they would be able to learn and experience every portfolio piece that's in the Air National Guard inventory here in the state of Michigan. So when they achieve that senior leadership position, they will be ready to lead at all levels. He had developed partnerships with agencies across the whole of government, bringing them into Michigan so they could work and exercise and develop their own contributions to national security, but also involve those organizations with our teams to enhance our wartime ability. At one point, he focused an entire state on executing A-10 combat operations off of a highway in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which made the headlines in the Asian Times. The Asian Times is a Chinese news outlet. Now that's what I call strategic messaging. He has driven priorities and set conditions for the future bed down of the KC-46 and the presidential decision to bed down F-15EXs with potentially $1 billion of investment in the state of Michigan over the next 10 years. During his tenure, the actions that he initiated will be written in OPR boards for officers that are coming up through the ranks right now as they move forward. I'll tell you that my grandchildren who aren't even born yet, if they decide to serve our Air National Guard, they're going to be serving in an organization that's going to reap the benefits of things that General Teff had his fingers all over. On a personal level, I've had so many discussions with him, and I will tell you, he was very rarely prescriptive. He never said, "I'm directing you to do this." He was always able to, as a leader, and with other leaders within the organization, is to lead you to make the right decision without having to be directive. The Michigan Air National Guard has been truly elevated throughout your tenure, sir. Appreciate it. You know, Ronald Reagan once said years ago that some people will live a lifetime wondering if they made a difference. After 36 years of service, Bryan Teff doesn't have that problem. Bryan, you've made a lasting impact on the state of Michigan and the entire A&G, and most importantly, the lives of airmen and soldiers that have been touched by the leadership. And I thank you. Finally, before I close, I do want to recognize Andrea. Andrea, we talk in leadership teams often within the Air National Guard. As, for example, in the squadron, we talk about the triad of leadership, where you have the commander, the first sergeant, and the superintendent. At the wing level, it's very similar. You have the commander, the first sergeant, and the command chief. At the state level, it was the senior enlisted advisor, the the first sergeant, and Team Teff, which was Bryan and Andrea. Your passion for airmen and their families goes unmatched. You drove the family programs at the 110th when Bryan was the wing commander here, and then when he became the commander at the state, you drove those family programs across the state. You would certainly inspire my wife, Linda, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, to follow you at the 127th for the betterment of airmen and their families, and I thank you for that. Andre, you truly care, and you have absolutely made a difference, and I would actually like you to stand up for me. General and Mrs. Teff, Bryan and Andrea, when we leave military service, we leave with three things. We leave with our memories, our relationships, and our reputation. I hope as you leave here today, you carry the fond memories of 36 years of service. I hope you look across this room and see the relationships and friendships that you will carry well into the future. And finally know that both of you will leave here today with the reputation of the epitome of what senior leaders should be. Bryan, you've been an amazing wingman and mentor to me and the entire leadership team. I can't thank you enough. Your retirement was well earned. Congratulations.
At this time, General Teff, please join General Monmouth for the presentation of the Defense Superior Service Medal. Esteemed guests, as we honor the dedication, leadership, and achievements of Major General Teff, we would like to acknowledge his outstanding service by reading his Defense Superior Service Medal. This medal is awarded by the Secretary of Defense to military officers who perform exceptionally for the Office of the Secretary of Defense, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, special or outstanding command in a defense agency, or any other joint activity designated by the Secretary. Headquarters, North American Aerospace Defense Command, United States Northern Command, Permanent Order Julian 11725. Under the provisions of DoD Manual 1348.33-Victor 4, 21 December 2016, the Commander, North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, and the United States Northern Command, U.S. NORTHCOM, has awarded the following: Major General Bryan J. Teff, U.S. Air National Guard, November 2023 to April 2025, NORAD and U.S. NORTHCOM, retired. Major General Bryan J. Teff, United States Air National Guard, distinguished himself by superior meritorious service in a position of significant responsibility as mobilization assistant to the Commander, Headquarters, North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, Peterson Space Force Base, Colorado, from 1 November 2023 to 30 April 2025. During this period, the decisive leadership, superior professional skills, and ceaseless efforts of Major General Teff resulted in major contributions to the success of the command's missions. In this capacity, Major General Teff advised the Commander and staff on the National Guard and Reserve's capabilities across the conflict continuum, and the programs, plans, and policies that support the command's missions. He participated in numerous training and real-world events, and his consummate expertise enabled him to serve with distinction as an engagement authority assessor for NORAD. Major General Teff applied his wealth of experience and leadership skills gained in various senior officer positions over his career to the many complex issues faced by the command, greatly contributing to the readiness and total force integration. During his tenure, he advised senior leaders and guided their staffs through the strategies, plans, policies, and cultural nuances necessary to apply the capabilities of the National Guard to the common mission of defending North America. Major General Teff ceaselessly worked to ensure the directorates with NORAD possessed a fundamental understanding of the unique and vital role of the National Guard of the 54 sovereign states and territories play in homeland defense operations. He flawlessly operated in high visibility roles, set the standard for coordination and integration of disparate organizations, and tirelessly met every demand placed upon him with ingenuity and extraordinary dedication. The outstanding leadership and internal efforts of Major General Teff resulted in greatly improved integration of National Guard and active duty forces in planning and conducting operations. He cultivated trusting working relationships, information exchange, and improved understanding between the states, territories, National Guard Bureau, and the command, thereby ensuring unity of effort during missions. Major General Teff's steady guidance, breadth of knowledge, and expertise in aerospace defense and the National Guard ensured the successful growth and refinement of mission planning for the defense in North America. Major General Teff's superlative decision-making and judicious methodology as an engagement authority assessor contributed to the command's successful execution of its aerospace defense missions. Major General Teff leaves a legacy of professionalism and excellence that will continue to have a positive impact on NORAD and the United States Air National Guard well into the future. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Major General Teff reflect great imperative on himself, the United States Air National Guard, and the Department of Defense. Major General Mahmoud will now publish the retirement order.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Special order number ANG Alpha Echo 01, Michigan FY25, dated 7 March 2025 states: Major General Bryan J. Teff, Joint Force Headquarters, Michigan Air National Guard, is relieved from assignment as the mobilization assistant to the Commander, NORAD, and honorably discharged from the Michigan Air National Guard effective 30 April 2025. Esteemed guests, please be seated. It is customary that every person retiring is presented with special certificates, a Presidential Certificate of Appreciation, and the Certificate of Retirement signed by both the Air Force Chief of Staff and the Acting Director of the Air National Guard to commemorate their career. First is the Certificate of Appreciation from the President of the United States. Dear Bryan, thank you for your service in the United States Armed Forces. I am proud to have served as your Commander-in-Chief, and I am pleased to join your family, friends, and colleagues in recognizing your career and accomplishments. Throughout history, the dedicated men and women of our military have protected our citizens and preserved the ideals that make our country strong. Your courage and sacrifice have inspired countless people and have helped shape America's character. On behalf of the Griffin Legion, I thank you for your contributions to our security and to the cause of peace and freedom. Your service, patriotism, and selfless devotion have helped advance the universal hope of liberty at home and around the world. Signed, Donald Trump, President of the United States. June 2025. Signed, General David W. Elvin, Chief of Staff, United States Air Force, and Major General Duke A. Pyrick, Acting Director, Air National Guard. Every retiree receives a special retirement pin as a memento of their service. General Teff's wife, Miss Andrea Teff, will now come forward and place the pin on his. This pin stands as a testament to his service to our great nation. To all who see it, know that Major General Teff has met all challenges set before him and has served our country with pride, honor, and dignity. Every successful military member knows and understands the value of the contribution of their family to their career, especially the efforts of their spouse. Major General Monda will now present Mrs. Teff with a spouse certificate of appreciation. To all who shall see these presents greetings, this is to certify that Mrs. Andrea Teff, on the occasion of the retirement of her spouse from the United States Air Force, has earned grateful appreciation for your unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. Your unfailing support and understanding helped make possible your spouse's lasting contribution to the nation. Signed, General David W. Elvin, Chief of Staff, United States Air Force, and Major General Duke A. Pyrick, Acting Director, Air National Guard. General Marvin, please be seated. Esteemed guests, at this time, we ask the Honor Guard to come forward and perform the flag holding ceremony in honor of Major General Teff's outstanding career. Esteemed guests, please remain seated for the flag holding ceremony. For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union shall be 13 stars, white in a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved as the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor, white signifies purity and innocence, and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the Stars and Stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry wrote the words to the Star Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July 1969, the American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong landed it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellations of Air Force satellites that circle our globe, and on the faint flash of our aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every airman who serves our great nation. The sun never sets on our U.S. Air Force, nor on the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today, airmen remain committed to preserving that freedom others have won for us for generations to come. At this time, it is my honor to present you for the first time ever, Major General Bryan J. Teff, United States Air Force and Michigan Air National Guard, retired.
Well, it's great to see everybody. When I was serving actively, I was never known for long speeches, so I'm not going to start that today. Like General Rahman, I wrote down a bunch of things, and then as I got to thinking about it, I was like, well, if I actually read off of my script, I might be accused of using ChatGPT to write my retirement speech. So instead of that, I've got this right here. So I didn't use ChatGPT, and it also reminded me, it's a quick question maybe for General Rogers. Has anybody actually got a white paper through you on the first try using ChatGPT? I came close. That's good. Well, thanks again for being here. It means a lot to me. I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of people that even came back from retirement. And I just want to talk about gratitude for a few minutes. And I want to start with, I want to thank God for all the blessings, all the things that He was able to give me over almost 36 years. Just an incredible experience with all the opportunities and really, frankly, the ability to meet all of you and to interact with all of you. I don't believe in chance or luck. Everything happens for a reason. I've been connected with people throughout my entire career for a very specific reason, and I thank God for that. So I really do. That's so incredible, and I want to thank General Mauman and Chief Slater. As you can see, it's a event of all retirees, right? Something new. May not be great. I don't know what everybody thinks of it, but it is what it is. And I want to thank you. It's an honor for you to come out and actually support me in this. Chief, thank you. I also want to thank the 110th for hosting this event, Lieutenant Colonel Freudenberg and your whole team. What's really cool, and what I had no idea was going to happen, is that A10 right there. That was not expected, never talked about it, didn't know about it, and really pretty cool. My airplane was 262, but 998 probably flew it 100 times off this ramp right here. And I know some of my compadres in the back there, Mohead and JD Van Havel, you flew 998 as well. The good thing is at least they didn't bring the 222 back over, right? At least they didn't bring 222 from Selfridge back here to Battle Creek. Well, General Mauman did a great job talking about my family, and I do want to spend a little bit of time, maybe get into just a little bit more. So I'll start with Colin. I'll go in order of ages, and then I'll finish up with Andrea. So Colin, he was born in Columbus, Mississippi, in the middle of a snowstorm. On my first my first active duty assignment. So he was able to spend 2 active duty assignments with us in Georgia and Mississippi, and then he came to Michigan. And what was really unique, and as I talk about the girls, which is quite different, he actually had the most stable upbringing probably of all 3 of them, because he was able to come in, and we ended up being here, very fortunate to be here at Battle Creek for a little bit, and we kind of settled in, and he spent a lot of time here, graduated from high school, and it worked out great. And then she was born in between when I went to A10 school. I actually missed her birth. That's something I probably shouldn't admit in public, but I did, because I was in Arizona and she was being born in Alabama. And then we connected back up in Georgia. She did active duty assignments, spent a lot of time here in Michigan, and then she actually, in high school, she actually started moving around with me and Andrea when we went to Alpena and places like that. I think it worked out really well for you, and I think she enjoyed it. And then Amelia, she was born in my first A10 assignment in Georgia, and then we came to Michigan, and she actually, the poor girl, she moved around a lot. She went to 3 high schools, a bunch of different things, but they were incredible. All 3 kids never complained, not to me at least. They probably wouldn't, right? They probably complained to mom a little bit, but they didn't. They were always supportive, and I really appreciate it. I love you guys. I got a couple gifts there, but that's to be opened at home. And then, Rolf did a great job talking about Andrea. So we met in October of 1990, May of '89. So she actually knew me when I was a second lieutenant. It's like General Badney and I were talking about that. There's not many people you know from when lieutenant to general. There's only a couple people you actually meet that you actually knew all the way through. And Andrea, she's been with me the whole way, all the way through active duty, all the way through everything we did here in Michigan. And I can't really say more than what Ralph said. I mean, she was just an unbelievable partner in this whole operation, and I can never repay you for that. So thank you. Thanks a lot. I've got a lot of my bosses here, right here in the front row. I've got to thank all of you for the incredible opportunities that you offered, the mentorship, the vision, just the things that I was able to learn. And I look back, really, I was one of these people, again, gratitude, right? Very thankful that I had really unbelievable bosses. Even when I go all the way back to active duty, I can only really think of just a couple where there may have ever been an issue. I really, really enjoyed working with everybody, and especially the team here in Michigan, where I really spent most of my time. So thank you, sirs. Thank you for everything you did for me. And I have the most respect for you, and I completely enjoyed working with you. So thank you. Also, I'd like to call out our community members. Everywhere I've been, starting in active duty all the way through Michigan, it's amazing how the community supports the military. I mean, it's just incredible. No matter where you go, they will drop anything to support what you're doing. And it's really interesting here in Michigan where we don't really have a big active duty presence, but we're the face of the military. The National Guard is your hometown Army, it's your hometown Air Force throughout really the whole state. And I've seen over time, it's just incredible from the 3 major Air Force installations, the 2 major Army installations, the incredible community support, and some of the partnerships we're able to build. Just amazing. So I'm very, very thankful for all the people I met, the friends I met. It was great. And turning over to all my teammates, and this is kind of maybe the highlight of that. You don't stay for 36 years in an organization. You certainly don't stay in the Michigan National Guard for 28 years if you don't like the people you work with, right? I mean, and I had the most incredible experience here in Michigan, whether it was Battle Creek, Alpena, Selfridge, the Joint Force Headquarters, which was an absolute fabulous experience. I met some of the best people in my life, some of my Army friends, civilians, all the unbelievable people that I came across at all these bases, and I can't thank you enough for really kind of being willing to be partner with me, become my friend, listen to me, and hopefully I was able to listen to you a little bit as well. So thank you for that. I also want to call out Colonel Pfeiffer, who's right behind General Rogers from NORAD Northcom. Very fortunate at the end of my career to serve with a great group of people, very operational position, which required tremendous support from the team at NORAD Northcom. And again, thank you, Carla. You and your team were incredible. Just really made the job an amazing experience. So I'm gonna close it up with this. And again, related to all the teammates I was able to work with, there's a lot of really, really important work that goes on every day in the military, regardless of the branch of service. It's critical. It's the operational missions, the strategic planning, and all the things related to that. But don't forget, behind all that work and all those machines and all that equipment is all of you, right? It's all the people. And you've got to make that connection with your people and the ability to really help them, maybe help them develop them, give them opportunities. That's what I actually found most valuable, especially sitting here now 3 or 4 months retired. I can tell you the things that I remember a lot of the big work things, but I can tell you the conversation with Rolf and about his son wrestling, that's what I really remember. The Chief Slater and I, we drove the entire state of Michigan. How many times? Too many times. And I don't know if we ever actually even talked about work once, but I know a lot about what he liked, the concerts he likes to go to, what his son is doing, his CrossFit, and I can tell you that's really super important to me, and that's kind of what sticks with me at this point. So again, I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for an amazing career, all the opportunities, and I really, really, I go out with a smile on my face. I'm very, very happy. I'm very blessed to have served 36 years, and I look forward to following your future success into the future. Thank you again. Thank you, General Teff.
As we conclude this ceremony, we want to once again express our deepest appreciation to General Teff and his family for the contributions to the Michigan Air National Guard and its mission. Esteemed guests, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. This concludes today's retirement ceremony. On behalf of General Teff and his family, thank you very much for taking part in this time-honored ceremony. Light refreshments will be served in the back of the hangar, and additionally, we will form a receiving line for General Teff. Thank you for attending.